Can the NFL get any crazier than week 5? Remember a time when the NFL play games as scheduled and the FanDuel site scoring worked? Well, the FanDuel site crashed and so did our cash lineup, scoring only 104 points. Thanks, Deontay Johnson, who got hurt at the very beginning of the game, and his replacement gained 120 yards and scored 4 TDs. We'll debrief all about it and get you ready for week 6 with a full cash and GPP lineup, all coming up next. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Lee with the Fantasy Football Consultants. All right, I don't want to talk too much about our cash lineup last week. I already talked about Deontay Johnson. The other guy that was a disappointment was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Even though his team scored plenty of points, granted the game script wasn't what we thought. We thought Kansas City would be ahead in that game. But the Chiefs got 2 rushing touchdowns inside the 10 by Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire got a touchdown reversed. So let's talk about other people, how they did in week 5. Congratulations. We got 2 more qualifiers for our FanDuel contest. That is the 2 people who gave great reasoning for Mike Davis of the Carolina Panthers, who did really well. Actually, 3.7 times his value, meaning that looking at his FanDuel price, that's how many points he scored, 3.7. That is Donna Lardin and Steven Lehman. They joined Chad Christian and Stephen B as qualifiers for our contest, which we're going to have later, which will be free for them to enter. It'll be later in the season. We'll run it twice. Once where the highest finisher wins $50, and we'll do it another week where the highest finisher wins, again, $50. It'll be on the FanDuel platform, and let's hope they'll score it correctly. All right, let's just briefly talk about how fun it was last week to have co-founder Gary Kurtzman on. That was great. I got to tell you, there are going to be more surprises for you later this season. I have a bunch of things in the works for this FanDuel channel, so please stay with me. And if you haven't yet, please smash that red subscriber button. It's greatly appreciated. And more than that, go ahead, enter in the comment section your best value play or pick given the price on FanDuel week 6 slate and give the reasons why. And of course, list your FanDuel username. That'll make you eligible to potentially be a qualifier for the tournament on FanDuel that I just mentioned. All right, without any further ado, let's get into the FanDuel studio and talk about week 6 cash lineup. All right, let's construct our cash game lineup, starting with running backs. Now, I'd like everybody to do me a favor and close your eyes. Come on, close your eyes. All right, there's a guy in New York watching this video that doesn't have his eyes closed. You think after watching the Jets and the Giants that your eyes could use a break. All right, so eyes are closed. Imagine that I get 2 running backs who are home favorites, who are their featured back, who get goal line work, who get involved in the passing game, and have really good matchups playing defenses that are ranked 27th and 30th, right? Sound too good to be true? Well, I want you to imagine that the 2 backs are Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook. All right, open your eyes. Look at the 2 guys in my lineup. No, it's not Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook, because those guys, neither of them are going to play this week. But their replacements, Mike Davis and Alexander Mattison. Now, I'm not going to say that they individually have the talent of Cook and McCaffrey, but I'm telling you, these guys are good, and the teams are going to use them in the same role. Do you know that Mike Davis, since taking over for Christian McCaffrey, has an average of 7.3 catches a game, receptions? If you project that out for a 16-week season, he would have 117 receptions. That's one more than Christian McCaffrey. And like I said, really happy to get Mike Davis. This may be the last time that we get to use Mike Davis because Christian McCaffrey may be back the next week. And equally happy to get Alexander Madison, especially since he has a 29, a ridiculously high 29 implied total. So that's a good start to our lineup. Let's move on to wide receivers. At wide receivers, why not stay in the same game at the highest over-under on the slate at 55? And look, I have to actually scroll down some at 7,400. This guy is just too cheap. It's Adam Thielen. And getting Madison and Thielen in a game in which their team has a 29 implied total, I think we may have just gotten all the touchdowns that are going to come from this game, especially since Kirk Cousins doesn't run the ball that much. We're going to move on to our second wide receiver. And gosh, guys, this guy's just too cheap at $7,000. I don't understand what FanDuel is doing. This is the price, $7,000, that DraftKings has him on. And DraftKings, of course, you only have $50,000 total salary as opposed to $60,000. So we are going to take advantage.
If you can take advantage of a situation in some way, it's your duty as an American to do it.
I want you to pay attention to what Allen Robinson has done this year. He's always gotten a lot of targets. But when Chicago switched from Mitch Trubisky to Nick Foles, the difference is that a lot of these passes are now being completed. And I know some of you cynics are out there saying, oh, Allen Robinson has now figured out how to catch the ball. No. The reason is he's got a quality quarterback throwing to him, so they're becoming more catchable balls. So I'm really happy to get Allen Robinson in this game. Again, at only $7,000. Where do I want to go from here? Well, we do need to save a little bit of money. And I am going to scroll way down to a guy who is seemingly just too cheap at only $5,500. It's Chase Claypool.
It's a trap.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Don't worry, we're not expecting this absurd game that he had last week. But here's the deal. I have one question right off the bat. And my question is, will Deontay Johnson play? If he did not practice on Wednesday, he being Deontay Johnson, if Deontay Johnson is in fact out, I think Chase Claypool at 5,500 is an excellent pick. Now, if Deontay Johnson is playing, we will pull Claypool, and we'll have to make a determination on whether Johnson is at 100%. If Johnson is at 100%, then 5,700 is an absurdly low price. All right, we're going to move to tight end. And tight end, we're going to again look to save some money, but we don't want to sacrifice quality. And at a ridiculously low price of $5,800, we're going with Jonnu Smith.
I tell you, I don't get no respect at all.
Wow. You know, here's the deal with Jonnu Smith. So first of all, his latest, once again, really good game was Tuesday night after FanDuel had set its pricing. But the key is, what is the status of all the other Titan wide receivers? Specifically, Adam Humphries and Corey Davis, who are sick. I don't believe they are going to be ready for this game on Sunday. And if they are not, then it's going to be the same situation as Buffalo, where it's really Ryan Tannehill only has two options in the passing game. He can throw to Jonnu Smith or A.J. Brown. So we love that, given that he's only $5,800. He is going to appear in our lineup. So in taking a lay of the land here, we are going to decide where do we want to go at quarterback. All right. So I'm not interested in Lamar Jackson. He just isn't getting the volume either in the passing game or the running game to substantiate a $9,000 price. Do like Deshaun Watson, but I think we can save a little bit of money. I guess a big question is, will Cam Newton actually play, by the way? He has been removed from the list here. So it looks like he should begin practicing on Thursday. So keep an eye on that. He's at least a possibility. I have a little concern about Cam Newton. Well, I have two concerns. One is his hairdo. Don't like it. Not a fan. But the other, and more seriously, is will New England just get up on Denver? And if they do, I would expect them to be really conservative, just trying to run out the clock. I like playing Cam Newton more when I feel like New England is going to have to throw to stay in the game. So my pick is going to be a guy who I am pretty confident will have to throw to stay in the game, and that is Matt Ryan, with one huge caveat. I want Julio Jones to play. If Julio Jones is ruled out in this contest, then I might very well go elsewhere. And it's easy because there's a lot of good options right around Matt Ryan's price range. Right below him, Ryan Fitzpatrick has been playing really well, and he gets a New York Jet team that looks like they have basically quit on the season. And Fitzpatrick has been really good this year. My concern is just to make sure, hopefully, if I pick him, that the Jets can stay somewhat in the game to make the Dolphins still want to throw for at least the first 3 quarters of this matchup. Also a fan of Ryan Stafford, who's in a really good matchup against Jacksonville, and even would consider potentially Gardner Minshew on the other side, but he's my least favorite of those 3 backups. But for now, I am going to go with Matt Ryan with the expectation that Julio Jones is going to play. All right, so I got 2 more picks, and I got $12,400. And here's the good news, folks. The good news is we can afford the guy that I really, really want. He's expensive at $9,000 in the flex. No, it's not Devontae Adams, who I also like, but it's Derrick Henry. Folks, my gosh. Derrick Henry, right? So the biggest complaint with Derrick Henry, and it's true this year, is he doesn't really get involved in the passing game. Look at his targets, 2 or 3 in each game. But guess what? We're on FanDuel, where the receptions only half a point. They aren't as big a deal. What is a big a deal is that he's getting touches. And look at this. Look what he did: 31, 25, 26, and 19 carries. Heavily involved in each game. And he draws, by far, the best matchup he's had all year. He faces a Houston Texans team that can absolutely not stop the run. So I don't know how they're going to stop Derrick Henry. So, and keep in mind, Tennessee, like I mentioned before, a lot of their other pass receivers are not available in this match, so they may very well have to lean on the run. I expect Tennessee to win this game. So from a game script perspective, I think they'll be ahead. So I'm dialing up Derrick Henry in our lineup. That leaves me $3,400 left, and it's just enough. I don't have a lot of options for my punt play to pick the Detroit Lions. So look, I'm not going to sell you a bill of goods here. It's not like the Detroit Lions are a great defense, but they are a defense that is favored. They are a defense that is playing a Jacksonville Jaguar team that likes to throw the ball, and a quarterback that is prone to make some mistakes. So all those things put together, I'm not hating this Detroit Lion pick. I know they haven't done well this year as a defense, but they also haven't faced an offense as bad as the Jacksonville Jaguars. All the teams they played before, I think, have a superior offense. So there's my cash game lineup. Ryan, Davis, Madison, Thielen, Robinson, Claypool, Jonnu Smith, Derrick Henry, and the Detroit Lions. All right, let's switch over to GPP. Okay, this is my GPP lineup. It always starts with a stack, and what a stack this is, coming from the highest scoring game on the slate. 55 total points expected to be scored in that Houston-Tennessee game. And I'm going to take the quarterback Deshaun Watson connecting on the other side with who I think is his number one target, Will Fuller. I know Brandon Cooks completely went off last game, but game in, game out, it's been Will Fuller with consistent targets, and he also provides you that high ceiling. Coming back the other way, speaking of high ceilings, A.J. Brown. We need to take a peek. A.J. Brown, boy, I got to tell you, this Titan team is hurting on the offense with injuries. So he's got a questionable designation. We'll watch that. But we like what A.J. Brown has done this year. Highly targeted from Ryan Tannehill. And given that Corey Davis is out, and given that Adam Humphries is out, they're going to have to rely on A.J. Brown. And he is the high air yard guy, so he's always has a very high ceiling. And again, playing a Houston team that has given up lots of points this year. All right, after that stack, where do we go? Well, I like to do the small stack, which is, we already talked about Alexander Madison and why we like him on Minnesota as a home favorite. We're going to tack on the defense because I'm trying to tell a story. And the story that I'm telling is Minnesota is going to beat up on the winless Atlanta Falcons. I like the stack even more if Julio Jones doesn't play. So I'm dialed in there. So another really good game script, I think, is Jonathan Taylor. You have to be careful with Jonathan Taylor because if Indianapolis falls behind, then they're going to put Nyheim Hines in for most of the downs with their in passing formation. That's what happened when they fell behind Cleveland this past week. But I don't have any concerns here. Look, Indianapolis is more than a touchdown favorite at home against Cincinnati. Cincinnati does not have a good defensive line. They don't do a good job against the rush. Jonathan Taylor has proven he's the goal line back. And you know what? When they're ahead and therefore he's in the game, Phillip Rivers always traditionally have been fine dropping down, checking down to a short pass to his running back. So a big fan of the ceiling of Jonathan Taylor. All right, here we go again with the Pittsburgh wide receiver, Deontay Johnson. We're going to check his health. As I said on the cash method, or the cash lineup, we can switch over to Claypool if Deontay Johnson looks like he is going to be out. We already talked about Jonnu Smith. Same reasons we like him in cash, we like him in GPP. And then we're going to spend the money. We're going to spend the money on Davante Adams. He is finally coming back. He is healthy. I think he would have been able to play last week, but they were on a bye. And he's already started practicing, folks. If he's practicing, it means he's going to be good to go in the game. He faces a Tampa Bay Buccaneer team that does really well against the rush. I don't think this is an Aaron Jones game. but struggles against the pass. So I'm hoping he gets his ceiling game, which is what he did in week 1 against Minnesota. And that's what we're hoping for. All right, and we already talked about the defense, so that's our GPP lineup, folks, and that'll do it for us in week 6. I want to again thank you guys, the FFC community. I love you guys. I appreciate all the fine comments. I just want to tell you something. There's something special about being a channel that is not a small channel. I mean, we're nearing 7,000 subscribers, so we got a good community, but we're not a real large channel. We're small enough such that I'm able to read every comment and appreciate it. And I really do appreciate when you guys really give us kind comments and support for our channel. It means the world. When you think about any YouTuber, I don't care who it is, if you have someone who's under 10,000 subscribers and you like their content, drop them a comment and tell them that's how you feel. You will make their day. All right, folks, I hope I made your day and you enjoyed this FanDuel video. Wish you guys good luck. As always, stay tuned in the YouTube comments and on our website for updates to our cash and GPP lineup as we get closer in the week and as some of these injury concerns flesh out. And who knows, maybe there'll be value that opens up for someone that's not in our lineup and we'll slide them in. Don't forget to leave comments with your pick for the best FanDuel play so you can get qualified for that very small contest later where you can win $100. Until next week, be safe, take care, see you next time.